I've thought about making this video for a while now. Before we get into it, I would first like to say that a majority of what will be said in this video is just my opinion, and also that hopefully this video does not come out as a disjointed, bumbling mess. But even if that does end up being the case, I feel that I need to try to say something. I have been a loyal subscriber of Team Edge since around February of 2016. While I was not a subscriber when Team Edge first started, in September of 2015 to be exact, I have been watching them long enough to grow with them and become familiar with the structure and feeling of their videos. The first video I ever watched of theirs was the Tapple Challenge. Watching that video made me feel different than other videos I had watched at the time. The simplicity, the design of the set, the people, but what struck me the most was the intro. The first thing that you saw when you watched a Team Edge video. As Brian, J-Fred, and Matthias flashed up on the screen with the music crescendoing as the logo appeared, I was impressed. I watched another video, then another. Soon enough, I was hooked, and subscribed without even a second thought. The camaraderie that Team Edge radiated was beyond anything I had personally seen on YouTube. Everything about them was genuine, and it was obvious that they enjoyed what they did. I eagerly awaited every new video to see what game they would play, who would win, and who would have to spin the wheel of misfortune and get the punishment. And to top it all off, the Edge games. Not only am I having a blast watching each episode, but with each new video, we would be coming closer to a season-finishing grand championship? That was just the cherry on top of the sundae. Team Edge was my all-time favorite YouTube channel, and I was not alone in that thought. Their channel exploded, quickly garnering millions of subscribers on top of millions of views per video. They were unstoppable, and I was enjoying every minute of it. After the end of the first Edge games, and further into Season 2, I thought that things could not have been going any better. How wrong I was. New members were being added to the Team Edge family, and special, bigger videos were introduced on top of the typical board games and outdoor activities. I loved it all. The formula was perfect. However, this is where things started to shift. Over the course of the next 4 years, Team Edge would see a series of alterations in content direction. The Wheel of Misfortune was being featured less and less, and the Edge games would rarely get a mention, except for the 1 or 2 times when they said, "Oh, don't worry, they're still coming." I was disappointed to see that these were being sidelined. I mean, this was what Team Edge was all about, right? Regardless, I eventually got used to the changes and continued to enjoy their content. However, starting with the Ostrich Egg Toss Challenge, the first drastic change was introduced. The intro was severely shortened, with the original trio being cut out in favor of simply showing the Team Edge logo instead. This change was very surprising to me and others as well. The intro had remained the same, besides a refresh at Season 2, for almost 2 years. Of course, I understood why they made this change. At this point, more Team Edge members were being prominently featured, and sometimes not all of the trio were in one challenge, so it would not make sense to show them in the intro anymore. I once again adapted to this change and continued to watch. As more time passed, the grander and more elaborate videos began to replace the simpler tabletop challenges, to the point where they were non-existent. This was starting to bother me. While I did enjoy the bigger challenges every now and then, with them increasing in frequency at an exponential rate, the spectacle of it all quickly burnt out. It seemed as if they were always trying to up themselves on what next big challenge they could make, and that they felt that they could not go back to playing board games on a table because that would be too boring. The list of my disappointments was growing, and it was starting to put a damper on my enjoyment of Team Edge. I tried to ignore it at first, saying to myself, "You just need to get used to it again." But my feelings were eventually confirmed with what happened in 2020.
Hello and welcome to Team Edge. Our studio has been shut down because of this whole lockdown, and we're gonna do some throwback doing board games, stuff with Matthias,
Out in the
other fun stuff
backyard.
we did in the past that you guys enjoyed. Some of you.
When I saw that they were doing board games for the quarantine series, I was overjoyed. Watching these videos gave me that same feeling that I had when I first started watching them. I felt that the true core of Team Edge was back, and it was clear to me that this was what I had been missing. This series did not last long, however. Inevitably, they resumed the new style of content, and with that return, they had privated all of the quarantine videos they had published.
I was in a quarantine video.
Oh, those have been privated.
This got me angry. After all these years of dealing with change after change and slowly becoming more apathetic because of it, they actually make something I wanted to see return, only for them to take it away once again? Privating the quarantine challenges only furthered my distaste for the new styled videos, and left a sour taste in my mouth with every new video they posted. It was obvious that the tabletop games were never coming back. With each bigger challenge they made, the more forced and counterfeit it felt. As I was becoming more disinterested, it was at this point that something caught my eye. It was the view count. Back when Team Edge was a powerhouse, they were getting at least 3 million views on every video at minimum, with many videos reaching 10 million and above. Now, they were lucky if they could even have one hit 5 million, with the average views per video dipping little by little every day. J-Fred even acknowledged this drop in one of Matthias' videos.
How do you get 1.4 million views on that? And now we can't even scrape up 8 hobos.
What does that even mean?
Needless to say, these views are still extremely good for a channel. But seeing as they used to have a constant stream of millions per video, alarm bells were ringing. This ultimately ushered in the biggest restructure of content Team Edge had seen to date. It was time for a new era.
Today, we're announcing a new era of Team Edge. Team Edge is now a challenge league where teams come together to battle out to win the relic and to be crowned the ultimate victor of the Edge game.
I did not know what to think at first. The incredible amount of creativity displayed was undeniable, and I actually really liked the new intro after having the last shorter one for years. And the Edge games were back, just like I wanted. But it was too late. The damage had already been done. My apathy for Team Edge was at an all-time high, and the new era barely fazed me. Everything felt artificial to me, even the humor. It became a chore to watch each new video, and even after Team Edge spent all this time, all this creativity on the new era, it ended up doing more harm than good. The new era received even less views than the videos prior. New challenges were barely able to get 1 million views. Thinking that apparently this was because people were getting bored within the first few seconds of a video, Team Edge did something unthinkable. After multiple changes and being in more than 500 videos for over 6 years, the Team Edge intro was gone, replaced by a rushed explanation of the current challenge in a desperate attempt to get you to watch the rest of the video.
Today's teams will be competing in the skee ball baseball challenge. That's right, we've combined 2 classic sports into one epic challenge.
Today starts the all-play phase of our season, and it starts with a crazy game of Duck, Duck, Goose. For the final challenge of the regular season, we have the most intense 3-legged challenge ever. It all comes down to this.
Yeah, apparently it was the intro's fault that people were not watching anymore. This was the nail in the coffin that the Team Edge I once knew and loved was dead. The audacity that Team Edge would ever do this caused me to snap, and I did something I'd never thought I would do. I unsubscribed. Less than a year after Team Edge introduced the new era, they published a video admitting that the new formula was not working and that few people were watching. They then claimed to return to classic Team Edge content. If that truly is the case, then where are the board games? Where is the intro? And what are these new short videos? Because none of this is classic Team Edge. I understand that change is necessary and that things cannot stay the same forever, but this is not the way to do it. As of the making of this video, Team Edge seems to show no sign of going back to classic content, and it saddens me to see what they have become. There were a few other things that contributed to my disappointment over the years that I did not mention earlier, like Matthias leaving despite him promising on multiple occasions saying otherwise, or the membership-only board game videos, but I digress. I hope I did not come off as hateful of Team Edge in any way, because that is far from my goal of this video. I want Team Edge to be successful, and I truly hope that they do gain new viewers and that they are able to make the content they want to make. But as a fan of Team Edge for over 6 years, that intro had weight. With it, it carried the laughter, the excitement, and the legacy of this channel as a whole. And for them to just neglect it is proof positive enough that they have forgotten what made them so popular in the first place. It was not a need for more elaborate videos, nor was it the spectacle of a high production value set. It was the simple fact that Team Edge was just some guys sitting at a table in front of a camera, playing games and having fun. Peace.